Dr. Richard McCormick, thank you for joining us. Let's now go to the State Department briefing where our Emerald Robinson is getting into it. Listen.
Yet, the Biden administration is cutting supplies in red states by 50%. So, for example, in Florida, they were expecting to get 70,000 doses this week, which they say they need. They're only getting 30,000 doses. And this is not just for unvaccinated people. In South Florida, half the people who are seeking this treatment are fully vaccinated. So why is the Biden administration cutting these supplies?
That's not accurate. So let me give you the accurate information. First of all, we are increasing our distribution this month by 50%. In early August, we were distributing an average of 100,000 doses per week. Now we're shipping an average of 150,000 doses per week. Over the last month, though, and one thing that I think people need to understand for clarity, facts, I know you're like facts, is that monoclonal antibodies are life-saving therapies that are used after infection to prevent more severe outcomes. So clearly the way to protect people and save more lives is to get them vaccinated so that they don't get the COVID to begin with. But over the last month, given the rise in cases due to the Delta variant and the lower number of vaccination rates in some of these states, like Florida, like Texas, just 7 states are making up 70% of the orders. Our supply is not unlimited, and we believe it should be equitable across states across the country.
There's been no reports of a lack of supply, so why cut them to those states only if there's no reports?
I think our role as the government overseeing the entire country is to be equitable in how we distribute. We're not going to give a greater percentage to Florida over Oklahoma, nor do I think are you suggesting that. I think we have to move on. Go ahead, Yamiche.
Thanks so much, Jen. One follow-up question on booster shots. I'm wondering if you could just say whether or not the president is at all even concerned about whether the administration endorsing booster shots before the FDA fully approved them just looks like they're trying to.
All right, Jen Psaki answering one of Emerald's questions about the reports that there was a limited amount of medication getting down there. I assume that's the Regeneron monoclonal antibodies.
It is.
And her answer was they want them to be equitable to all of the states, and then she compared Florida to Oklahoma. Now, off the top of my head, I don't know what the populations are of the 2 states, but I think they're higher in Florida.
Yes.
I think it's higher.
Yeah, and we asked Dr. McCormick about that, and it is actual HHS policy that limits orders and shipments of monoclonal antibody treatments to HHS-approved administration sites. Some more states than others is what she's talking about when she uses the word
equitable.
Equitable.
And where you and I think, where do they need it? Let's send it there. And that's essentially what the question is. If they need it in Florida, why are you limiting the supply in Florida? She says so all the states are being treated in an equitable way. Well,
but they're using it more in Florida. So
they
it
need
doesn't
it more
make
in Florida,
a lot of sense.
apparently.
I love our Emerald Robinson. I'm so glad that she asked her that question.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.